Get over here!
Hello everyone, welcome to episode 30 of Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. I am the Green Scorpion.
I am the ComicFoil, and it is not episode 30, it is episode 29.
Oh. My bad. Listen to John, don't listen to me.
All this time traveling has got you mixed up, my friend. You're living in two different time periods, and neither of them are episode 30.
I'm sorry! I am very bad at keeping track of this nonsense.
What's funny is you even just said episode 29 when you were doing the sync test.
I know, I don't know why I did that to myself.
That's okay. I mean, it's not like a crazy mistake either. I say things I don't mean all the time. Are you ever going back over one of your Let's Plays, or even your voiceover for a countdown, and you realize you said a word completely wrong, or you
all the goddamn time.
It's just wait, why did I say that?
All the goddamn time.
If I could do a quick plug, it's going to be a while by the time this episode comes out, but at the time we're recording, I just released my 2024 year in review video, which is called I Beat 60 Games in 2024. Please watch that if you can, but while looking over that, I kept having moments of there's a part where I say oh yeah, Tesla Grad is a puzzle platformer, but at the time when I was recording it, I was Tesla Grad is a really interesting puzzle platformer. I lisped saying it. And I was am I gonna go back to the recording chair to fix that line and hope the sound levels make sense, hope I deliver it the same way? No, I'm just gonna leave it in. It's kind of funny.
Okay, how can I make this work?
What if... There you go. And really quick open the door.
Okay, we made it work.
Or Link just gets skewered as the bars come back down.
Apparently there are treasure chests here?
Lens of Truth?
Maybe. Wow! Thank you, Compass.
I had an interesting thought. Few interesting thoughts, actually. And this would be a good episode to talk about them, because I did read up on all the information we have of the Goddess of the Sand in the Zelda series.
Oh, yeah.
Which isn't a lot. There's not a lot about her.
Alright, we're pulling out this baby. Good time to test it out, huh? Yup. Let's do this.
Oof.
Ow! Yup. Still hurts.
So, the Goddess of the Sand has been referenced, I think, only twice. Maybe it's also referenced in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. But it's in this game, and we also see... Wow. You made short work of that.
Big Goron's sword is actually really good. I mean, obviously, given all the work we had to do to get it, but... Wow.
Dang.
That was quick work. But you were saying, right?
Yeah. So... Yeah, there's the Goddess of Sand in this game, which is what the Desert Colossus is made, and also that statue inside the temple.
Oh yeah, that would actually be a point of reference for what exactly we're talking about here.
I love the mirror shield.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, this beautiful piece of equipment.
I think it's so cool. And it's going to be very useful for moving sun around.
So, this might be a weird, take, right?
Yeah.
But you're looking at the design of this thing, right?
Yep.
Maybe it's just me, but doesn't that look like the motif of the goddess inside?
Oh, I kind of see what you mean.
The chess piece, like those like,
and those could be like the hands.
It could be the hands,
or her legs
like
when she's sitting like crisscross.
Yeah,
applesauce.
I didn't really realize that. Holy smoke!
Maybe the whole time the Gerudo symbol is like a reference to the goddess of the sands.
Interesting. So yeah, like regale us on that one.
So the only other place that has like a direct reference to her is in Twilight Princess. We also see lots of depictions of her in the Arbiter's Grounds, which, as we know, the Arbiter's Grounds is in Gerudo Desert. We don't see any Gerudo anymore, but it was obviously a prison made by Hyrule out of an old temple of the Gerudo.
Mm-hmm.
Rough stuff, bad news bears.
Yeah, it was not exactly a not exactly something you want to share with the kids.
Now, here's the theory I want to present, and it's not my theory alone. So, across cultures, there are many different religions.
Yes.
And sometimes even in, like, especially in, like, with, like, pagan religions or, like, religions in ancient Greece and stuff, there could be different smaller groups of people that don't have an entirely different religion or a different god, but worship things in a different way or have different beliefs about these legends.
Yes.
So,
I think I know where you're going with this.
The theory I'd like to present to you is that the goddess of the sands is what the Gerudo call Din.
Yup, thought so.
So, and that would have a few... That would have some interesting, what's the word I want to use?
Implications?
Implications, yeah. Because,
Sorry, I was just
I don't know if that does anything. Now, something that maybe supports this is in Twilight Princess, the many statues you see of the Goddess of Sand are holding flames. Flames are Din's thing, Goddess of Fire.
Yes.
We see an oracle in the Oracle games. There are oracles that have the same names as the goddesses, Nabooru, Din, and Furore.
Which, real side bit, Furore would have been the oracle that you meet in the third game that never came out, which would have been, I think, Oracle of Secrets.
Yeah, that's what they were calling it in the like conceptual level.
Yeah, but it never came to be, unfortunately.
Yeah. So instead, Furore's in both Oracle games. You can like find her hanging out by the great Maku trees.
Yes.
I think they're called the Maku trees in that game. There's two of them.
Mm-hmm. I see.
So, you know how last time we speculated, oh, well, like, it's weird that, like, you get ice arrows for doing the Gerudo training grounds, but, like, one of the Gerudo was a witch who specialized in ice magic.
Yes.
Maybe she made the ice arrows. We said, fire arrows, though, you get in a very different way. It would be weird for Koume to, like, put those at Lake Hylia randomly, especially with, like, a stone that talks about, like, firing an arrow into the sun. It feels, like, very sacred. But I think it still comes from the same root. We know that, according to the legend that the Great Deku Tree tells you, the three goddesses, when they created Hyrule and perhaps the entire world, it was Din who created the Red Earth, created the space that we live on.
Yes.
That makes her, besides fire, also a god of earth, which includes sand.
Ah.
Now, she's also associated with fire, very associated with the sun. So I don't think Koume made the fire arrows that we have and put them there, but I think they come from the same magic. I think it's like a worship of Din that trial is put there at Lake Hylia. And we just got the Mirror Shield. What is it we're doing so much here for this last leg of this Gerudo temple? We are redirecting beams of the sun.
Yes.
They worship the sun here, and the sun, we know, is a creation of Din.
Ah.
Same goddess, different ways of worshiping her.
I like that. I like that a lot, actually.
So I think the Gerudo maybe were a people who only worshipped one of the three goddesses, and that, like, put them, like, religiously at odds with Hyrule.
Who worship, for all intents and purposes, a triumvirate.
Yeah. And at least they, like... I'm not even sure if the people of Hyrule, like, fully worship those three gods, or depending on where we are in the timeline, if they just worship Hylia, who's kind of a god situated in the middle of them, or perhaps under them.
That's true, because, like, there is, like, the whole thing with Hylia as a whole, and we know Hylia exists because we have Lake Hylia. So it was kind of better established, like, later on, in things like Skyward Sword.
Yeah.
Where Hylia was the was basically the great goddess who led the people, and Zelda's basically a, like, reincarnation of her for all intents and purposes.
And she fought Demise and put all of her people, the Hylians, on a piece of earth and sent it up into the sky to keep them safe.
Yes.
That turning out to be Skyloft.
So, yeah, like, that's an interesting, like, bit, because it's one of those things where it's like, okay, so who do they actually worship? Hylia or the three goddesses, Din, Faror, and Nehru?
Yeah.
And for all we know, it could be all of them.
I think there's probably different ways of looking at it, and different beliefs at different times in... Because, I mean, this series takes place over eons.
Yeah, like, it could be depicted in, like, several ways. For what we know, it could be, like, the pantheon, like, argument of, like, oh, okay, yeah, so, like, obviously, Hylia is, like, the big head honcho goddess, and the three goddesses are, like, her, I guess you could say, like, I don't want to say servants, but it's like...
Yeah, they might be...
lesser gods?
Yeah, they might be kind of the demigods to...
Demigods would probably be a good one. Or something along those lines.
Or it could just be that, like, Farore, Din, and Nehru are, like, creator gods, if you will. They made the world, but Hylia is a god of these people.
It's kind of in the same argument of, like, you look at Greek mythology, right? You got, like, Thanatos, who is the god of death, but then you have Hades, who is the god of the dead.
Yeah.
And Thanatos, for all intents and purposes, depending on who you ask, answers to Hades.
Yeah. Because I think gods aren't necessarily a species. Like, in Greek mythology, they kind of are. They're the people who were, like, most of them were the kids of Titans.
Mm-hmm.
But kind of, in a way, gods are just... What makes something a god is that they're worshipped.
They're worshipped, and that they clearly have, like, some greater power.
Yeah.
Whether it's actual power, whether it's strength, whether it's magical, or even influential. People have been worshipped as gods purely because of just how charismatic they are.
Yeah, so, like, whatever these things are, Nehru, Farore, Din, Hylia, wherever they came from, whatever created them, whatever they're made out of, people started worshipping them, therefore they're goddesses.
Mm-hmm. The other argument I can also see is that, kind of in a similar vein to Abrahamic religion, is the argument that Hylia is the god, like, is the big head honcho goddess, but perhaps Din, Faror, and Nehru are aspects of her.
I like that theory too.
Yeah, because it's like, again, like, going back to Abrahamic religions, like, you've got, like, the big head honcho god himself, who consists of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
Which, in a similar vein, this could follow that same train of logic where Hylia's aspects are, like, the Din, Nehru, Faror are, like, different aspects of her. Like, maybe Din is, like, the rough and tough warrior. Nehru is, like, the loving and caring mother. Faror is, like, the overseer, like, the adventurer, the one who, like, governs all type of thing.
Yeah. And I mean...
Like, there's a lot of ways and a lot of directions you can take with this, and the cool thing about it is that none of them are necessarily wrong.
Yeah, that's what makes it the Legend of Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
This is all just speculation.
But, as we've expressed time and time again, going through this whole, series, that doesn't make any of us necessarily right or wrong when it comes to how we depict all this, but it's hella fun to think about.
What's really interesting now with Echoes of Wisdom, we've got, new lore that kind of is interesting to try and slot into Ocarina of Time and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because I forget what they call them. What was Zelda's little partner in that game?
What? I don't remember.
But I think they were called, tries?
Yes, yeah. The partner was Tri.
Yeah.
But I don't remember what the species was.
I'm gonna look it up really quick, because
you're good.
Make this easier to talk about.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, I do like that argument of, this goddess of the sand could basically just be Din seen in a different way. Frankly, I love that.
Okay, Tri is both their name and the name of the race.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't deign to have its own individual name.
Fair enough.
So in Echoes of Wisdom, we meet the Tries, and I don't think we get too much in-depth discussion of the creator goddesses again. I would need to play it again, or watch those cutscenes again.
I don't specifically remember anything of the sort myself, but...
What I do remember is that you have these beings called Tries that look a lot like the Triforce. Seem to be from that same golden power that makes up the Triforce, and, the same power that the golden goddesses, Nabooru, Din, and Ferroy were from.
Yes.
And they stand in opposition to Null. So, if this golden power of the Triforce, the goddesses, are responsible for creation, or for existence, Null is for non-existence, or for uncreation, for destruction.
Which, is kind of interesting, because, Nintendo seems to like that sort of, train of thought when it comes to that sort of thing, because what is another triumvirate that follows that same, sort of logic in a Nintendo property? Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the time and space, the core foundation of creation, but to balance that out, you have Giratina from the realm of nothingness.
Yeah.
Or the distortion world.
Yeah, of, a place where physics doesn't make sense.
Yup.
Where up is down and left is fish.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. You can write a whole essay talking about just how many different pantheons and, theologies and religions Nintendo has managed to slap into a lot of their lore that manages to remain non-denominational purely because it's just fun to think about.
Yeah.
And I love that.
They have had to before kind of, clean, Christian imagery from Japanese properties before when they come here.
Yeah.
There's the whole thing with the Fire Temple having, a Muslim chant in it, and...
Oh, yeah.
Looks like someone is here, Kume.
Looks like a Kotake.
What an outrageous fellow he is, to intrude so boldly into our temple.
We should teach this outrageous fellow a lesson.
Oh, loyal minion.
Destroy this intruder on our behalf.
I love Kume and Kotake.
They're great.
I love their theme. They have a unique theme.
Oh boy, we're doing this again.
Same as last time.
Link? Something strange. This is not an ordinary enemy.
What do you mean?
I'm sensing... hesitation?
I don't like that.
Just do your thing!
I guess because most of the things Link fights are, composed of darkness, and that's why they, disappear into dust after you kill them. They're, things that Ganon has summoned.
Mm-hmm. I also found that, there was that one small gesture that the Iron Knuckle did when you start the fight, where it, looks at its hand and is like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
You can interpret it in two ways. either it was like, oh, where's my weapon? Oh, here it is. Allow me to summon it. But on the other hand, it's like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah. Like, maybe, like, its body started moving on its own.
Yeah.
And that's alarming to it. There's actually, if you, like, go into the game files, there's, like, you can't see it in-game, but there's a texture of, like, Gerudo underneath the masks of the Iron Knuckles.
Oof. What the? Nabooru? Where am I?
Well, well. Looks like she's back to normal, Kume. She's just a little girl, but she commands a lot of respect among the Gerudo Kotake. Maybe we should make her work for the great Ganondorf for a little while longer. Then we should brainwash her again.
Okay, that ain't good.
I don't like those two.
Me neither. So yeah, we have that little spiel to deal with.
I spent a long time trying to decide how I wanted to pronounce those two.
Like, I say Kumen Kotake, but, like, I can also say Kome.
Yeah, like Koume.
Kume, yeah.
So you say it a little, you kind of, it's a diphthong. Koume.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Look at that stupid kid. He came on his own to offer himself as a sacrifice to the great Ganondorf.
I think...
Yeah, that's your...
one.
Yeah, Kum is the fire.
With my flame,
I will send this, sorry.
Burn him to the bone.
I will burn him to the bone. With my frost, I'll freeze him to his soul.
Here we go.
So Kume and Kotake, collectively known as Twinrova. Yeah, they're also very large, but it seems like among their magics they have a way to become bigger and smaller, because they kind of shrink as they teleport.
I'm actually curious about something. I don't know if... I've never actually tried this, but...
Unfortunately, no. It should work, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
That would be a great reward for actually getting these two optional items.
You would think, right?
Yeah.
Well, one can dream. It is nice to know that the ice arrows are at least useful in, like, one-shotting some, like, notable, enemies.
Yeah.
I did not realize that they could, completely, like, one-shot the statues. Or the like-likes.
Yeah, and the like-likes.
I will say, I do enjoy, just the concept of this.
Yeah, the mirror shield mechanic is a little cleaner in Wind Waker, but I like this fight more than Valhalla.
Oh, definitely.
The feedback of the beams of lights look nicer, though, in Wind Waker.
Yeah. I do like the sound effect that they chose for this one, though.
Yeah. I know we've talked about it before, but the little song it plays whenever they're talking is very appropriate. I like how there's kind of, like, two... Like, it sounds like the song is, like, two voices chattering.
Oh, yeah. The classic call and response motif, which a lot of themes use.
And then it, like, starts, like, talking over... Like, they start talking over each other, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's get serious, Kotake.
Oh, okay, Kum.
Kotake and Kume!
Double dynamite attack!
We're trying.
Oh my god, did we just fuse? Yo, fan artist, what's the Oscar comic fusion look like?
Oh, goodness.
Ah!
And what would it be called?
Good question. What if, like, Comic and I did the fusion dance?
Skormic? I think it would be Skormic.
Skormic?
Yeah. I'm going with, like, DBZ naming conventions, because, yeah.
Skormic, Kamian.
Green foil.
There was that fun thing that Countdown artists used to love doing whenever we did collabs back then.
Oh, yeah.
So what would a collaboration between ComicFoil and the Green Scorpion be? That would probably be our, like, fusion tag.
Yeah, it would be like the comedic arthropod or something like that, or the...
There we go.
So, can I ask something a little untoward?
I'm listening.
Smash or pass Twinrova? Mine obviously is pass, but...
Yeah, you obviously pass.
I'd like to know what an allosexual thinks.
I hate that I can't even rebut that.
Well, I mean, that's just what you are. It's not an insult.
Oh no, I'm not rebutting it.
Most people are.
Yeah, Smash. Like, look. Okay, I'll say this. Kum and Kotake alone, pass. But once this happens,
All
yeah.
I wanna do is see you turn into a giant woman, a giant woman.
Yup. She's an 8-foot tall muscle mommy who can sit on me, and that's perfectly fine with me. Something like that. That's a little Danny Moda one for you.
Yeah, because, like, she's not particularly muscular, but dang is she tall.
Here's the thing, though. She's a Gerudo at the end of the day. I imagine she's pretty damn strong and can kick my ass.
Yeah, I mean, the Gerudo aren't that tall in this game, but they're all taller than Link, and this one's a lot tall. Like, she's probably as tall as the Gerudo are in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. As Spike Spiegel would say, I love a woman who can kick my ass.
Yeah. I think it's kind of funny how, like, the mirror shield in this phase of the fight, like, absorbs and holds elements.
Honestly, I would have liked to see that mechanic more explored, because that's just a neat concept.
I think this version of the mirror shield is also, like, Gerudo magic. Like, which is like Twinrova must have made it.
Good point. I love this part.
Alright, let's do our best here. Shoot! What a fresh kid! This time we'll get serious, right, Kotake?
What? Hey, Kume! What is that above your head?
I don't know, but you have one over your head too, Kotake! But I'm only 400 years old!
And I'm just 380 years old!
We're twins, don't try to lie about your age.
You must have gone senile!
Who are you calling senile? Is that how you talk to your,
We're twins! How can you be older?
Yeah, how heartless you are!
How can you be so deranged?
You're heartless!
You're ungrateful!
I'll come back to haunt you!
Oh, too much fun.
I think that went pretty well.
I think we did just fine.
For a dry run at that, we did pretty good.
Our reward, maximum health. That is a satisfying visual right there.
Now, have we been to all of the Great Fairies yet?
No, there's one left. The one just outside of Ganon's tower.
Okay, alright.
But we need the golden gauntlets for that.
Right. I like how there's this crystal effect only when you're, like, being transported to and from the
Chamber of Sages, yeah. Doing alright, Nabooru? Kid? Let me thank you. Look what the little kid has become in the past 7 years. A competent swordsman. By the way, I really messed up. I was brainwashed by those old witches and used by Ganondorf to do his evil will. But isn't it funny that a person like me could turn out to be the Sage of Spirit? And now, I'm going to fight them as one of the 6 sages. I'm going to pay them back for what they did to me. Kid? No. Link, the hero of time. Instead of keeping the promise I made back then, I give you this medallion. Take it.
I mean, you can have the silver gauntlets. We're almost done with them.
And there we have it.
6th medallion. Nabooru awakens as a sage and adds her power to yours.
If only I knew you would become such a handsome man. I should have kept the promise I made back then.
In your defense, you did get captured and brainwashed. Link, the hero. Finally, all of us, the 6 sages, have been awakened. The time for the final showdown with the King of Evil has come. Before that, though, you should meet the one who is waiting for you. The one who is waiting for you at the Temple of Time.
Finally. We're almost done.
So what do you think that promise was that Nabooru wanted to keep for you?
I don't know. Maybe we already fulfilled it by becoming a member of the Gerudo?
Link, you're not that naive, are you?
Of course I'm not. I know exactly what she wanted to do.
Just wanted to make sure.
You're terrible, Navi.
A little bit of a Anakin Padme sort of thing there. Oh, there were bugs here.
Well, at least we now know, but it's not like it matters at this point.
Yep.
Yeah, we pretty much did everything we wanted. Here's the thing. So, as of right now, we pretty much did literally everything we could. We got all the pieces here, we got all the hearts, all of this. And I think the only thing left, as of right now, is that final bottle.
That final bottle, and we have to actually go back to the spider house.
That's right. I mean, we still got a little bit of time left. We might as well go ahead and do that now.
Yeah. Yeah, let's help him celebrate his non-spidery existence.
You're not gonna empty your wallet at all before you go over there?
What would I spend it on?
Fair enough.
Remember, all overflow rupees go to the Castletown Restoration Fund.
As a matter of fact, we can ask the guy at the Spider House to be the sponsor for that project.
Yeah.
Or the benefactor.
Yeah, weren't they like a rich family that was like too greedy and collected some like cursed gold? Isn't that how this all started?
I think so. I don't exactly know.
I think that's the excuse, and that's why they have like such what would be a nice house if it hadn't become cursed.
Maybe we'll get some insight into that once we actually go there. I don't know.
By
the way, I want to talk to her real quick.
My brother must have been very lonely.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
Okay, she knows.
Sorry, bye.
There he is.
Wow, buffer than I expected.
Since you destroyed 100 spiders of the curse on me has been broken. Thank you. Here's a token of my appreciation. Please take it. Yep. We'll be careful not to get cursed again.
It reminds me a little bit of, like, the Curse of the Black Pearl from the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you took some gold that you shouldn't have took.
maybe revamp your house, pal.
Yeah, now you gotta clean this place up.
I am curious, does he have anything else to say if we go back in after leaving?
Nope.
Oh, I see. So what... Okay. So basically we can come back here at any point to grab 200 rupees.
Wow, okay, so it's unlimited money.
That's... You know what? Huh.
So actually...
Not terrible.
Yeah, I've decided he's going to...
He's going to be the benefactor for...
The Castletown restoration.
Sure. Why not? So yeah, that pretty much is all she wrote at this point.
Yeah, dude's rolling in it.
So, let's go ahead and tackle one last thing.
Okay.
We might as well head back to the Temple of Time.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and get that the whole spiel situated. Because, at the very least, once that's done, I think the only thing left that we need to do is get those darn ghosts.
Yeah. And there's, like... one more fairy fountain, but we have to start Ganon's tower first.
Yeah, we actually need a specific item from there in order to get it. Wow, we're actually going to 100% this game.
Yeah. By some definition, at least.
Yeah, true, because, like, I know there's a couple of other things that we haven't gotten. Like, I realized that I never increased the capacity for the Deku Sticks. But I think we can live with it.
Oh, yeah, how do you even do that?
I think you gotta talk to one of those, like, Deku Scrub merchants.
Okay.
Because, like, they have the capabilities of increasing the capacity of certain items.
And there is a bigger fish than the one we caught.
Yeah, the actual Hylian Loach, but I don't think we need to do that too much.
There's always a bigger fish, guys.
Yep. Link, I've been waiting for you. Link, the hero of time. You have overcome many hardships and awakened 6 sages. And now you have a final challenge. The showdown with Ganondorf, the King of Evil. Before that, I have things I want to tell only to you. Please listen. Another unknown legend of the Triforce passed down by the Shadow Folk, the Sheikahs. If you would seek the Sacred Triangle, listen well. The resting place of the Sacred Triangle, the Sacred Realm, is a mirror that reflects what is in the heart. The heart of one who enters it. If an evil heart, the realm will become full of evil. If pure, the realm will become a paradise.
Which explains Link to the Past.
Yep. The Triforce, the Sacred Triangle. It is a balance that weighs the 3 forces: power, wisdom, and courage. If the heart of the one who wields the Sacred Triangle has all 3 forces in balance, the one will gain the true force to govern all. But if that one's heart is not in balance, the Triforce will separate into 3 parts: power, wisdom, and courage. Only one part will remain for the one who touched the Triforce, the part representing the force that one most believes in. If that one seeks the true force, that one must acquire the 2 lost parts. Those 2 parts will be held within others chosen by destiny, who will bear the Triforce mark on the back of their hands. Is that right? 7 years ago, the King of Thieves, Ganondorf, used the door you opened in the Temple of Time and entered the Sacred Realm. But when he laid his hands on the Triforce, the legend came true. The Triforce separated into 3 parts. Only the Triforce of Power remained in Ganondorf's hand. The strength of the Triforce of Power enabled him to become a mighty, evil king, but his dark ambitions were not satisfied. To gain complete mastery of the world, Ganondorf started looking for those chosen by destiny to hold the 2 other Triforce parts. The one who holds the Triforce of Courage is you, Link. And the other, who holds a Triforce of Wisdom, is the 7th Sage, who is destined to be the leader of them all. What?
I had a feeling.
You knew?
Called a hunch.
Yes, it is I, the Princess of Hyrule Zelda. I apologize for meeting you in disguise, but it was necessary to hide from the King of Evil. Please forgive me. On that day 7 years ago, Ganondorf attacked Hyrule Castle. I saw you as I was escaping from the castle with my attendant Impa.
Did you ever see in the Game Grumps playthrough when they get to this part?
Remind me.
It's one of my favorite Dan Avidan moments of all time, because he somehow went his whole... I'll tell you later.
I thought I should entrust the Ocarina to you. I thought that would be our best chance. As long as you had the Ocarina in your possession, I thought Ganondorf could never enter the Sacred Realm. But...
Go on.
So real quick, and you know, so it's Aaron, and he's not like super enthused about it. He's always like very like irreverent about whatever game he's playing.
Yeah.
And Dan has never played Ocarina of Time and didn't get like too much of the cultural zeitgeist up till now. So he gets to this part with the reveal that Sheikah is Zelda. He had no idea, and he's invested. And it's so crazy to see somebody in like the 2010s like have a like legitimate reaction to finding out,
like a genuine response.
and he goes, "Are you shitting all over both of my balls right now?"
Yep. Okay. Now that you mention it, I do remember this. Yeah.
Because that's just the way he talks. But like, it's so cute. It's so
yeah.
wholesome.
That's the great thing about these games is like if you don't know, it can genuinely like take you by surprise, and that's the beauty.
Yeah,
of it.
because I like had this game on the N64 not long after it came out, but I didn't get that far in it initially. The first I learned of Sheik as a character was Super Smash Bros. Melee, so like I just knew Sheik was Zelda.
Yup. I did find out via this game. And as a kid, like, I was like, wait a second. And then, like, it's one of those situations where it's like, oh, I got surprised. But then when I thought about it, I was like, okay, all the pieces are finally coming together.
Yeah, because, like, where's she been?
Yeah.
Something I could never expect happened. After you opened the door of time, the Master Sword sealed you away in the Sacred Realm. Your spirit remained in the Sacred Realm, and then the Triforce fell into Ganondorf's hands. He went on to invade the Sacred Realm. Ganondorf had become the evil king, and the Sacred Realm became a world of evil. All of this was an unfortunate coincidence. I passed myself off as a Sheikah and hoped that you would return. I waited for 7 years.
Yeah, I hate to break it to you, Princess, but it felt like an instant to me.
And now you are back. The Dark Age ruled by Ganondorf the Evil King will end. And the 6 sages will open the sealed door and lure Ganondorf back into the Sacred Realm. I will then seal the door of the Sacred Realm from this world. Thus, Ganondorf the Evil King will vanish from Hyrule. You can do that? Huh. Link, in order to do this, I need your courage again. Please protect me while I do my part. And here is the weapon that can penetrate the Evil King's defenses. The power given to the Chosen Ones. The Sacred Arrow of Light.
So we're in agreement that the Arrow of Light was basically what the Silver Arrow was in the original, right?
Yeah, I think they're more or less the same thing.
Pretty much.
And, like, light is a specific power in Zelda, and I think it's the power of the Golden Gods and the power of the Triforce.
Yep.
or like the power of sealing that Zelda has in the Wild games.
Link?
That can't be good. That rumbling, it can't be. What the?
Evil Crystal.
Princess Zelda, you foolish traitor! I commend you for avoiding my pursuit for 7 long years. But you let your guard down. I knew you would appear if I let this kid wander around.
So somebody in the comments did say it's always been their headcanon that, like, Ganondorf is always watching Link.
Yeah.
I think that's absolutely true. I think Ganondorf is able to scry. Also, he's able to just, like, trap people with magic and spirit them away from a distance, which is insane.
Yeah.
Like by D&D laws, that's, like, multiple 9th level spells at work. But, yeah, I think Zelda had to be disguised as Sheik this whole time, because the instant she's, like, appeared as Zelda, Ganondorf would find her.
Yep.
My only mistake was to slightly underestimate the power of this kid.
Oh, come on!
No, it was not the kid's power I misjudged. It was the power of the Triforce of Courage. But, with the Triforce of Wisdom that Zelda has, when I obtain these 2 Triforces, then I will become the true ruler of the world. If you want to rescue Zelda, come to my castle.
Darn it.
You know he's just luring you for the Triforce of Courage, right?
But what choice do we have?
We don't.
And I don't know if there's a reason why Ganondorf can't just do that to Link, but
I have a theory of that.
either way, Ganondorf knows he doesn't have to, because of course Link's gonna come to rescue Zelda.
That's one of the reasons. And the other reason I can think of is... So, this is just a thought. But either he can't because he has to spend a lot of his power containing Zelda,
Yeah.
or the fact that Link has the power of the 6 sages with the medallions around him, that might be protecting him.
That's probably part of it, yeah. Because also, the effect that he uses to kidnap Zelda there is a crystal, is the same thing that's used every time Link frees a sage to go to the sacred realm.
Yeah, I imagine the power of the sages is what might be protecting him from just being yeeted into Ganondorf's grip.
In this moment, at least, because Ganondorf definitely didn't want to do it earlier to Link, because it was useful to him to let Link wander around.
Yep.
Link, can you hear me? It's Rauru, the sage. We 6 will gather our power to create a bridge to the castle where Ganondorf dwells. The castle's keep, which is known as Ganon's Tower, is protected by 6 evil barriers. Bring down the 6 barriers and save Princess Zelda. Together, we 6 sages of light have the same ability as the 4 carpenters. We will make a bridge! That's a magic bridge that Ganondorf can't destroy.
Really nice bridge, honestly.
I like the fact that he, like, takes a step onto the bridge and, like, puts his weight on it just to make sure it works.
Yeah.
Like, here's the thing. I'm pretty sure Link has, like, all the faith in the world for the 6 sages, but it's never a bad idea to be cautious.
Yeah.
Alright, so... thank you guys for joining us for today's episode of Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. I am the Green Scorpion.
I'm the ComicFoil.
And we're not going in there yet.
Nah.
We got a couple of last unfinished business things we're gonna do outside. We'll see you guys then.
Yeah.
We're probably gonna start Ganon's Tower in the next episode, but not before we take care of a couple of other things before that.
Yeah, so for now, we're not going across the light bridge, the chromatic path,
The
rainbow road.
I was trying to come up with other things. Gosh darn it. So does that mean that Link felt nostalgia driving through Rainbow Road in Mario Kart?
Probably.
Yeah, I imagine so.
Yeah, if it was the same Link, which is unclear, but...
So that's either a situation of great wonder or maybe a little bit of trauma considering where this bridge leads.
Man, how many sages did you need to build this thing?
Maybe about, 600.
Fun fact, in Super Mario Party Jamboree, Rosalina's Jamboree game, if you're trying to get her as a Jamboree buddy, is a snowboard race that continues onto a path that Rosalina creates on the spot, which is a rainbow, implying that all along the rainbow roads have been made by Rosalina.
I like that.
So, Rosalina solos Link, is what I'm saying.
Fair enough.